What most people don't know is that when someone dies in your house, it's up to you to clean up the mess. That's where I come in.
Limpiar la escena de asesinatos, suicidios, accidentes o incluso muertes naturales que no fueron descubiertas por varias semanas nos suena como un trabajo ideal. Pero para Neil Smithers, el propietario de Crime Scene Cleaners, la mayor empresa del ramo en los Estados Unidos, es la fuente de su fortuna y la gran pasión de su vida.
I was laying on my couch watching Pulp Fiction, waiting for school to start, and they killed the guy accidentally in the car, and they brought the wolf character in, and they cleaned it. And for me, it was immediate. It was like a religious epiphany. I knew immediately that, wow, I can do that. The very first job I did, I knew that this was for me, for without any kind of a doubt. It was a sister of a decedent, a dead lady. The lady died of cancer, well, was sick with cancer, extreme pain, and shot herself in the head. It wasn't a severe cleanup, but it was my first one, and I had, frankly, Wilson, no clue as to what I was doing. So I went in there with my sister at that time, who was my helper, and you know, with just basic store-bought products, and we cleaned it. It took a couple of hours. To me, at this time, you know, I went from making $8 an hour to doing an hour and a half's work and charging this lady $400, and she couldn't write the check for me fast enough, Wilson. I mean, she would have had me write the check if I could have done it faster. And I just remember thinking, my God, you know, this is it for me. You know, I can make money. I'm very money motivated. I've always been, and I remember, Neil, you're going to make a fortune doing this, and it was just, I don't know how to describe it other than it was just one of those weird situations where it was meant to be.
Lo que empezó en Oakland, California, como un negocio unipersonal, hoy es una empresa con más de 25 empleados que atienden un promedio de 600 casos cada mes.
Yours is not the job many people could do.
There's not much in between. You can either do it or you cannot. And even then, you know, we lose people about every 6 to 8 months. So it can be pretty challenging. And I don't think it's so much just the mess, but it's the schedule's very demanding. It's tough to be up 24 hours a day and be on call. You don't really get much of a private life.
I imagine that in your place I would try to find the story behind what I'm seeing.
Initially, when you first start, you absolutely try to figure it out. But the more you do and the longer you do this, the less you care. You just don't even really see the mess after a while. You quite literally go in, you clean it, and by the time your truck is packed up and you're ready to go, you've really kind of forgotten it. It's really just the most severe cases that you remember.
Okay, then what does it take to shake you now?
You know, a lot of our work is in the, I'll call it the ghettos, and you know, you see these little children who are really, for the most part, so far behind the game before they've even started. It's just kind of, you know, it's unfortunate, you know, and the parents aren't taking care of what they're supposed to do, and the kids are really the ones that pay. So other than that, I'll be honest, I don't care, you know. I mean, it's unfortunate you're living that way, but man, I'm sure glad you have my phone number, you know.
So it would be wrong to picture you crying in the dark because of something you saw?
Oh, most definitely wrong. Yeah, although I'm courteous, I'm not a warm, fuzzy guy. You know, hey, you know, you shouldn't have the gun in your mouth. Probably would have your head if you didn't.
Okay, how does it work? The client calls you, the police does?
Basically, the way we get a call, hi, this is Neil, I'm with Crime Scene Cleaners, how may I help you? I have a mess, so I'll get the very basics. Well, is it a gunshot or a knife, or, you know, did the body just lay there for a while? I find that out. And then what we do is we come out, we provide a free estimate. If the customer's satisfied with the estimate, we would do the cleanup immediately. And everything's guaranteed. Most all of our jobs are probably $500 to about $675. But if I have a very severe decomposed body and the animals were trapped in there with the body and they've been defecating and urinating and eating the body, and then, you know, those animals die, well, we've got a severe cleanup and it can be several $1,000s.
Did you ever operate outside the Bay Area?
Oh, sure. We fly all over the country for our national accounts. We have large hotel companies under contract, and when they have a problem, for instance, last night we were in Yuma, Arizona, for a gentleman who decomposed in the hotel room. If our national accounts need us to go somewhere, we go immediately.
Wow, is that room ever gonna stop smelling?
Oh, sure, yeah. In fact, it's already done. It's really kind of a wives' tale or a fallacy that the smell stays. What the source of the odor is really 90% of your problem, and then after that, after you get the source out, it's just a matter of effective deodorization. So yeah, and because we guarantee our work, if it's still funky and smelly, we can't leave and can't get paid. So yeah, it's got to be right. A lot of this, is state of mind and peace of mind. If the customer feels that they still smell something, regardless of how completely crazy that may be, we still have to go and address it and make them feel better, or they're just never going to be happy. So a lot of it is customer service and personality.
You have worked some pretty extreme cases.
Well, we're really known now as a company that will do jobs that are just so severe no one else will get near them. Probably the best example is, you've probably seen on TV, the people who save everything, hoarders. We'll go into a 1,000 square foot house, which is a fairly average size home here, and it'll be full to the ceilings, literally, with little avenues of ingress and egress for the people who live there. I mean, to the ceiling, with wet, nasty, funky garbage and waste. And, it's common for them to trap themselves in a corner up on a mattress way up high on the top of the garbage, and that's where they die. We've done 1,000 square feet with 11 40-yard debris boxes brought out of there, which is just an incredibly amazing amount of waste. Those are quite expensive and quite profitable.
When you leave the scene, do you think people are grateful with you or just relieved to see you gone?
I think that it's a little bit of both. I don't think that they're so much grateful to me. I think that they're just grateful that the mess is gone, however that mess may be gone. Now, I think on the other side of that, if I was to really jam that fee into them and really charge them as every single penny I could get, then it would be more, hey, I'm glad that mess is gone, but boy, what an asshole. And that's what I tried to avoid. I think the family's just generally so out of their mind with grief and, oh my gosh, that they're just glad someone was there to drive the boat, so to speak, to make the decisions and help them through it in a very fast, efficient manner. Because, we're in and we're out. Our typical cleanup is an hour to 2 hours. So it's, it allows the family to get that out of their house and to love each other, to do whatever they do, whatever kind of grieving that works for them, without a bunch of strangers around. So, it works.
Para más información visite esta dirección. Yo soy Wilson Vega en Tiempo Real.